A nearby farmer who was an organiser of the Shamrock of the Year competition asked a year before I actually went in it whether I'd be interested in going into it, and I said no, but that I'd think about it. And the following year he rang back, and so I kind of feel as if I had said I would think about it, so I should, and decided to enter because I thought it would be good for me and it would be good to have a new challenge. And I guess that's why I did it, and it was well worth it. It's a great competition, and I've since been asked to judge the preliminary rounds of the competition since, which is really motivating and challenging as well. So the whole involvement with the competition has been really worthwhile. Dairying has been the best career choice for me. There are fantastic opportunities, and I like to think that being a female doesn't matter too much. Sure, maybe you have to prove yourself a little bit early on, and maybe you doubt yourself a bit more. Maybe you worry about things that blokes don't. The middle one of a 3-girl family, we were always involved on our parents' 80-cow dairy farm. I guess no brothers somehow makes a difference. We're all still involved in farming now. My parents never actively encouraged a farming career, but they never made us feel like we couldn't do something. Sometimes I think I've been fortunate. They say luck is what you make it, but knowing what to do with opportunities and how to make the most of them is a challenge. I didn't know what I wanted to do when I left school. Casual work, tramping, cycling and some part-time study before going overseas filled in till I was 25. I didn't really want to grow up. After a farm job in England, I decided that farming or agriculture was for me, so when I came home I went to Massey to study agriculture. The first managing job that I really wanted when I finished at uni, the boss said he thought I'd be good, but as I was a woman he just wasn't quite sure, so decided not. The next job, my overseers with an absentee owner were 2 sisters, so I was away. After a few years managing and then 2 years as a consulting officer, I landed my dream job, a 50-50 sharemorking job at Hunterville with 240 cows. I was kind of confident I could do it, but doubts always set in, don't they? My biggest fear was what would I do with a cow that needed shooting. A new area where I had a great family and friend network 45 minutes away, but it was still a new area and starting out was never easy. In my first few years I rolled a tractor down a hill, I wasn't on it, had to call the neighbour numerous times to shoot down the cows, struggled through some dry summers and wet springs. I had awesome support from bankers, families, friends and the neighbours that were just wonderful. I went in the Shamrock of the Year competition in 2002 and probably the highlight of my farming career was when I got second. The feeling that I could do it and that was acknowledged by people who knew was enormous. I was then offered a second sharemorking job on a neighbour's farm. What a coup. I signed up the cows on one of those high price years. But then within months, at 39 years of age, I met my future husband, who I'd last seen on the high school bus when I was 15. We were both dairy farming, 3/4 of an hour drive apart, but it was meant to be. Just as we decided that we'd try to simplify our farming interests and see if we could buy a farm together, and I'd keep my sharemorking job with a sister managing, the farm owner decided that he wanted to lease the farm out to me and I'd have to buy the shares. The opportunities were becoming too much. What to take on and what to quit. My husband was a go-getter. He slept at night with plenty of debt. I was more cautious. So with differing styles and being recently a new couple, it was always a challenge. Then at 40 years of old, the least maternal woman I know was pregnant. Anna was born, and luckily the hormones kicked in the day she was born, and she became the darling that we hoped she would be. The preschool years have been a challenge for me. I get cabin fever easily, so part-time nannies and juggling farm work with Bernie has helped me carry on farming. Now we have a farm together and I lease my old sharemorking job and employ a lower order sharemorker. The banks own us, or so it feels sometimes, but I feel very fortunate and always there are challenges. Anna's now at school and there's always farming to do, and time for more opportunities. Balance is the hard part with lifestyle, family, financial deadlines, and hopefully more time for interests. Opportunities don't always appear when you're ready for them, but they're out there, certainly for women in dairying.